From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
My grandmother had asked me to come help her outside as we were collecting okra, the vegetables, and then I saw from the sky a drone, and I heard the dum-dum noise. Everything was dark and I couldn't see anything, but I heard a scream. I don't know if it was my grandmother, but I couldn't see her, and I looked to my hand, there was blood. I tried to bandage my hand, but the blood kept coming. The blood wouldn't stop.
As another deadly U.S. drone strike hits Pakistan, Nabila, a 9-year-old Pakistani girl, speaks out on Capitol Hill a year after a U.S. drone killed her grandmother while she was picking vegetables. Nabila joins us today in studio with her teenage brother and her father. The three of them are featured in the new documentary, Unmanned, America's Drone Wars.
Drone strikes have turned all of Waziristan into enemies. We were not their enemy before the drone attack, but now they have made us their enemy by killing us with drones.
Today, in a Democracy Now! Special, we'll speak with the family as well as filmmaker Robert Greenwald and human rights attorney Jennifer Gibson of Reprieve. All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. A U.S. drone strike killed 3 people in northwest Pakistan earlier today, marking the first such attack since Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif publicly called for President Obama to end the strikes last week. The identity of the victims has not been confirmed. Pakistani intelligence officials say they are suspected militants, as is generally the claim with U.S. drone attacks. The Bureau of Investigative Journalism says at least 400 civilians have been killed by CIA drone strikes in Pakistan since 2004. But in a twist on Wednesday, the Pakistani government significantly downgraded its official estimate of civilian casualties. Previous reports have detailed the Pakistani government's extensive cooperation with drone strikes. Today's attack came as members of a Pakistani family are in the United States calling for an end to drone strikes, which they say are killing innocent people. We'll speak with Rafiq Rehman, a school teacher from Pakistan, and his 2 children after headlines. The International Chemical Weapons Watchdog says Syria has completed its efforts to destroy critical equipment for producing, filling, and mixing chemical weapons. The announcement came 1 day before the deadline established as part of a deal to avert U.S. military strikes. The agency says the next deadline will be the approval by November 15th of Syria's plan to eliminate its stockpile of chemical weapons. Meanwhile, a new report by Amnesty International finds hundreds of people attempting to flee Syria into Jordan and other neighboring countries are being turned away at the border. The report says those being rejected include Palestinian and Iraqi refugees and people who lack ID. The Washington Post reports the National Security Agency has secretly broken into the main links connecting Google and Yahoo data centers around the world, allowing it to vacuum up millions of records every day, including those belonging to Americans. Citing documents released by Edward Snowden, the Post says the NSA is working with its British counterpart to operate a project called Muscular that involves sweeping up vast quantities of data flowing across fiber optic cables between the tightly guarded data centers. In a statement, Google's head legal officer said the company is, quote, outraged at the lengths to which the government seems to have gone to intercept data from our private fiber networks. Top German security and intelligence officials met with their U.S. counterparts at the White House Wednesday as part of an ongoing quest for answers about U.S. spying, including reports the NSA tapped German Chancellor Angela Merkel's phone. Wednesday's meeting came after European lawmakers held their own talks with U.S. officials. European Parliament member Elmar Brok of Germany spoke in Washington.
The damage for the United States is so high that something has to be done on that. And I hope that it will be successful, because we need messages to our people that without any purpose it cannot be espionage on Merkel or on citizens. It's not just leaders, it's citizens too.
An Italian magazine reported Wednesday that the National Security Agency has spied on Vatican phone calls, possibly including when Pope Benedict's successor was being discussed. Panorama magazine said in a news release that the NSA had, quote, tapped the Pope. An NSA spokesperson denied the claims, saying that agency does not target the Vatican. Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius faced a grilling on Capitol Hill Wednesday over the technical failures plaguing the rollout of the new health care law. Testifying before a House panel, Sebelius said the government has spent $118 million on healthcare.gov and $56 million more on tech support. Sebelius did not provide firm numbers on how many people have actually been able to enroll, but acknowledged, quote, given our flawed launch, it'll be a small number. She apologized for the delays.
I am as frustrated and angry as anyone with the flawed launch of healthcare.gov. So let me say directly to these Americans, you deserve better. I apologize. I'm accountable to you for fixing these problems, and I'm committed to earning your confidence back by fixing the site. We're working day and night, and we'll continue until it's fixed.
Secretary Sebelius also faced questions over an internal government memo obtained by the Associated Press, which shows administration officials expressed concern about a high security risk on the site due to a lack of sufficient testing. The memo is dated September 27th, just 4 days before the site went live. Sebelius said the website's secure. She also expressed confidence healthcare.gov will be optimally functional by November 30th, 2 months after its launch. President Obama defended the health care rollout Wednesday during an appearance in Boston, but he was interrupted by protesters urging him to reject the Keystone XL oil pipeline, which would bring tar sands oil from Alberta, Canada, to Texas.
I am as frustrated.
Health care.
Stop climate change for our generation. Stop the pipeline. Mr. President.
Okay. Okay. We're talking about health care today, but we will... No. That's okay. That is the wrong rally. We had the climate change rally back in the summer. This is the health care rally.
President Obama cited problems faced during the rollout of the Massachusetts health reform law signed by former Governor Mitt Romney in 2006. Romney, who unsuccessfully challenged Obama for the presidency last year, rejected the comparison, tweeting, quote, had President Obama actually learned the lessons of Massachusetts health care, the installation of the federal program would not have been a frustrating embarrassment. The protest against Keystone XL came amidst reports that a pipeline in Texas owned by the Koch Pipeline Company spilled about 400 barrels of crude oil near Austin. The company is a subsidiary of Koch Industries, which is run by the billionaire Republican donors Charles and David Koch. A recent report by the International Forum on Globalization said the Koch brothers could win $100 billion in new profits if the Keystone Pipeline is completed. The Federal Reserve says it'll continue its economic stimulus program, citing high unemployment and a slowing recovery in the housing sector. Since September 2012, the Fed has been buying $85 billion in bonds each month in a bid to lower long-term interest rates and encourage spending. In a statement Wednesday, Fed officials said they would wait for more evidence of sustained growth before adjusting the purchases. The Senate's confirmed President Obama's nominees for key posts on the Federal Communications Commission and National Labor Relations Board. Richard Griffin has been approved as the Labor Board's general counsel following Republican efforts to delay his confirmation. The Senate also confirmed Tom Wheeler as the next FCC commissioner after Senator Ted Cruz lifted his blockade on the nomination. Wheeler's a former venture capitalist and Obama campaign fundraiser who previously headed two powerful industry groups representing cable and Internet firms. Obama's nominating two other top fundraisers to serve as U.S. ambassadors. Robert Barber, his pick for ambassador to Iceland, and Mark Gilbert, a former Chicago White Sox player, tapped as envoy to New Zealand. Each raised more than $500,000 for Obama's re-election campaign. Regulators in Japan have given final approval to a plan for removing more than 1,500 fuel rods from a cooling pool at the embattled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. The process is set to begin next month, but Japan's nuclear regulatory chair has warned of a potential disaster if the fuel rods are damaged or break during the removal process. Writing for the website Common Dreams, anti-nuclear activist Harvey Wasserman said the plan marks, quote, humankind's most dangerous moment since the Cuban Missile Crisis. He said the fuel, currently perched on top of a damaged reactor unit, could release more than 15,000 times as much radiation as the nuclear bomb dropped by the United States on Hiroshima. A group of protesters gathered outside Barneys department store here in New York City Wednesday to condemn the retailer's alleged racial profiling. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman has launched a probe after African-American customers say employees at Barneys and Macys alerted police after making the racially biased assumption the shoppers could not afford their expensive purchases. Outside Barneys, two young people said the profiling is widespread.
Especially me as a teenager, when I walk into stores such as Barneys, there's a lot of attention on me because I'm a black African-American teenager. So therefore, I feel like I should stand up for myself because just by looking at me, you don't know who I am.
Well, being that I'm a young African-American, there was a lot of eyes being watched on me, but I don't know. This is basically, I'm used to that, you know. So, but as far as with me coming to spend money, I shouldn't be treated like that. People watching me.
Actor Rob Brown, who stars in the HBO series Treme, has filed a lawsuit against Macys, saying he was racially profiled while shopping in New York. Brown is also known for his role in the film Finding Forrester. He told the New York Daily News he was paraded through Macys in handcuffs and detained for an hour as police accused him of using a fake card to buy a watch for his mother. The store's alleged racial profiling has been dubbed Shop and Frisk, a reference to the New York City Police Department's stop and frisk policies. Those police tactics faced a protest of their own this week at Brown University. New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly was standing at a lectern with a campus official about to deliver a speech on so-called proactive policing when protesters shut down the event.
You're going to stop Brown, and we're going to tell you that, and the community's not going to take it.
Racism is not for debate.
We're asking that you let him speak and you make your comments as part of the question and answer part of this program.
We're asking you to stop stopping and frisking people.
The protests forced the cancellation of New York Police Commissioner Ray Kelly's speech. And the New York City Council has approved a measure raising the age for buying cigarettes from 18 to 21. Mayor Michael Bloomberg has pledged to sign the bill. New York is the first major city to take such action following similar measures in smaller municipalities. The council also approved setting a minimum price of $10.50 a pack for cigarettes. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
And I'm Juan Gonzalez. Welcome to all of our listeners and viewers around the country and around the world.